Hello everyone, finale of this week up against Dark Lord Ren. He's been testing a lot in Arena up against General Skywalker teams. I've seen him set a bunch of different variations here. He's also tried some stuff with Bastilla Lead and General Skywalker. He's used both Han and Chewie and various different possibilities. So props to him for trying his best to find good counters and to practice against good teams. Looking at his roster, he has about the same number of Gear 13s as I do. So he already went trigger happy with Rey Jedi training here. Has a really strong Droideka, Geo Spy. For the rest, nothing particularly out of the ordinary. I mean, a lot of people around this GP that have good rosters, they tend to have pretty similar stuff. For example, I have a Relic Shack, but he probably has something pretty close to me. Because we're all kind of forced into this same funnel of where we spend our resources if we're not people that spend money on the game. So his character here is 262, but uses speed sets, so I think I will be alright in terms of speed. I should try to make a few checks where necessary before entering into battles, and let's see what he did. So Dark Lord Ren already attacked. And he went through my General Skywalker here in one attempt, probably using Darth Revan together with Han and or Chewie. Not exactly sure what he used, but that worked for him. Except he did not seem to anticipate the scenario in which I would also set my Darth Revan on defense. So that took him 2 attempts. And then he went through the back here where I set some weak stuff. I knew it wasn't really going to matter because I simply set the board in such a way that there was going to be a 0% chance for him to clear, even if he would have kept literally everything for offense. Because JKR is not strong enough to beat my Grievous team, which really didn't work out for him. And since he used his Padme to clear Darth Revan, probably he couldn't beat the Nightsisters either. Even if he would have beat these, he wouldn't have gotten through this. So I set the board in that way on purpose, also because this guy likes to go pretty offense heavy, like many of my previous opponents, and this is a really nice counter to that. If they're not really looking into past behavior, or if their roster just isn't strong enough to be able to deal with it. So looking at what he did, he set his General Skywalker, which is obviously a lot weaker as it doesn't have the relics yet. So that should be alright with me. Then he has a Django team here together with Nest, but Nest is just gear 11. Let's see how fast this Bosk is going to be. All tenacity mods. So Bosk will have 305 speed, 140% tenacity. And then the Django has speed mods, 291. Also important to check Nest to see what kind of build it is. Normally seen for this team to work well, you actually want a fast Nest with a lot of potency. Because together with Dengar, she can provide a lot of AoE turn meter removal. In this case, it's kind of a medium speed Nest. Still built for tenacity, which is kind of weird. It's not really the most useful way to build your Nest. But she's just gear 11, so I can imagine that she wasn't exactly a top priority for him yet. So yeah, let me just check General Skywalker here as well. Alright, nothing special. Then at the bottom here he put his Nightsisters and he put his Karth team, which is pretty standard. So yeah, normally seen, what I advise is to go through the weaker zone first, which you could argue is this one. But in this case, since there are some switches that I might make with counters depending on what he has in the back zones, or whether I even succeed against these teams the first try, I will actually be going for this top zone here first. Now to beat him, I need to clear 5 teams, or 4 that are one shot. That really depends, and it should be very doable with what I kept for offense. I don't actually expect to full clear him because his Grievous team, I believe. Let me just look it up here. I believe it was pretty strong. Yeah, the Relic 4 Droideka, Relic 5 B2 could give me some trouble. It's kind of on the edge slash a little stronger than what I usually take out with my Jedi Knight Revan in Territory Wars. And Padme needs to be saved for the General Skywalker team. And it's very likely that he put his Grievous behind here, expecting me to not clear that. But then he should have seen this scenario coming where he wasn't going to clear my other front zone. So as long as I can take out, let's say, these 3 zones, I'm already good. I would, of course, love the full clear, so we're going to be trying for that. But I'm not counting on it, which is okay. So I think I'll start up against the Django team. Now, normally seeing Rey Jedi training absolutely stomps this, even if it's a Relic Nest, even if it's Relic across the board, even if they're over 300 speed, it genuinely does not matter. But in this case, since it's a Gear 11 Nest and I put my BB-8 on defense, I'm not going to be using Rey Jedi training here, as you miss a lot of the turn meter control, you miss the Illuminated Destiny, so it's really not that nice. So I'll actually be using CLS here. Now CLS is not really great against Nest generally because you could time out on Nest, but in this case, since it's a pretty fast Nest who is Gear 11, I should be quite alright with CLS. So that's what I will be using. I won't be bringing C-3PO because you could actually get stuck in turn meter removal when bringing C-3PO. And I'm also a bit concerned that I just kill off the bounty hunters too quick to cycle around for a second run on Nest. So I'll just be going in with these guys. And I obviously want to stun Bosk first, as I don't want to get stuck behind him. Even though Django will burn, he will just get countered by everyone. Which pretty much deletes him from existence. Now what I generally like to do here, actually I'll lower your health a little bit. I'm okay with Nest going because she can daze a bunch of these guys. I want to reduce the turn meter on Boba to put him on hold for a bit. Must say I expected them to counter here, which they did not, which is a bit odd. But yeah, let's just stun Bosk. Do the turn meter removal. Kill Django. And now I will do this one here, which drops Nest to just health. Oh, that was already almost a kill. So let's just finish that up. Boba will shoot here. I have to be a little bit careful with him that he does not execute me. But he has to go for Old Ben right now, so I should be all right there. And Chewie is max protection there. So 59, that's quite all right. Sort of as expected. Han didn't manage to recover protection, but someone was going to suffer there. And I'm just glad it ended up being Han and not all 3 of them, and ending up with quite a lot less banners in the end. So we didn't put 5s in the 5th slot, but it doesn't really matter when I use Padme. Let me just check the speed on Rex. Yeah, he hasn't given Rex a whole lot of attention either. So Darth Revan would actually outspeed this, I believe. Yeah, let's go with Padme, Jedi Knight Anakin, Ahsoka, GK, and Shaq. I just have to be a bit careful that I don't counter any of the other clones to death, so that I would be screwed by supercharging the clones. My laptop seems pretty slow today, apologies in advance if there's any kind of lag in the recording. So I started with the less ideal scenario where General Skywalker does an AoE before I have protection up, which reduces all of my cooldowns and buys their team a lot of time to stack up a lot of offense. So that's the less ideal scenario, but I should be alright here. With Shaq, you don't want to cleanse the debuffs, as mentioned in some other videos, because Padme can cleanse them and turn it into more protection up, which is always preferred. This should topple. And then I go for 5s. I want to be a little bit careful here because they're pretty squishy and Anakin could just blow them up. So I'm actually going to do a basic here. Want to be really cautious that I absolutely kill 5s first. But I do have to be mindful of timing here with Rex, who is about to annihilate. So I'm going to kick here. That was actually enough, I didn't expect that. I definitely want to kill Echo. I won't get to Arc probably, but I could try. Huh, that was unexpected. Alright, well, it's still a Relic 7 General Skywalker, so he's probably, since I don't have protection up here, he's going to kill my Jedi Knight Anakin. I don't really have the courage to kill him either. Ah, that helped. So I'm pretty sure he's going to beat me here, which would be pretty annoying, but not much I can do. Or he's about to use an AoE, which will kill several of my characters. So that's a pity. I probably will lose this, because he just keeps healing back up too much. Maybe if he doesn't go for Shaq, nah. She would have stood the best chance there. But Padme does not have her kick available now, as I honestly didn't expect this scenario, so that's a pity. I'll see what I can do for the cleanup. So now probably, since I will be cleaning him up, I should take a look here. I usually like to take a little break from cleaning something up to help confirm what exactly I want to do. I don't like rushing back in. A lot of people do it, but I feel like it's the best way to start making mistakes. So instead I'll fight this Asajj team here, and I'll be using my Bounty Hunters, which is a match that I usually really enjoy. It's a very fun counter. I could bring Watt, but since this is a relatively weak Nightsister team, I'll just be going in with my Bounty Hunters. Don't really need to check the speeds, because even if Asajj goes first, my Bosk will still taunt and keep his taunt because of the Zeta. And now it's a matter of laying down a lot of debuffs, mostly on Mother Talzin, because the moment, yeah, this usually gets pretty close, but now it's my turn to heal back up. So the more debuffs I can get on Mother Talzin, the quicker I can annihilate her, which is always nice. Now, it would be tempting to go for Spirit here, but my real goal is to stop Mother Talzin from doing a basic, which would still kill me behind all of this taunt. So I really want to go for her first. There, she did use her hit. Now I can drop the mines. And I want to be mindful here. It's Boba who has to get the kill, because I don't have the Zeta on Django. So I still try it. Okay, perfect. Didn't get the kill. So now Boba has taken a turn. And that is the main threat gone. So now I would hope to get a taunt back up on Bosk soon, so that I don't risk losing Cad, who is pretty exposed here. But I still got a while to go until the taunt is back, so I'll have to make do until then. So yeah, it's not really a matter of getting the 2 kills that Zombie revives for. It's much more of a matter of, can I stack some debuffs on these guys and then just let Django execute them. Now you can get unlucky with the stuns. There are of course a lot of stuns across the team, and especially if it's a strong Mother Talzin, that can give you trouble. But again, in this case, it's quite alright. Bosk Lead does give more tenacity, but it's usually not enough to be able to withstand the Nightsisters. So far it's a bit slow because I've been getting stunned a lot, but you can see there Old Daka is really trying to revive, and it's just not working. And once you get the contract, it's definitely game over. I usually don't focus on getting it as soon as possible, but sometimes you can, and it works out nicely. So that was a death from a dot there actually. So now if I can stop Old Daka from reviving, then it's already finished. And I think I have pretty much everyone full protection, just not Cad Bane. Well, 59 banners, it's nice enough. Really fun fight, it's something different, and it's a pretty good counter. So then up against Skarth here, I will actually be using my Rey Jedi training here. I think. Yeah, I was considering maybe to use maybe to use Emperor Palpatine, but this will do nicely. So going to send in R2, I guess C-3PO, Finn, and like last time, I'll bring Kylo Ren unmasked. Because the triple stuns across the team is really nice. Gives me a lot of control, and that's what I need to do well here, I think. I'll lose a banner on Kylo Ren unmasked protection, but it's whatever. So start with the burn for the AoE expose. Now they do have some crit avoidance from Karth lead, so you always want to be careful with that, but generally it's alright. Now I will mind trick you and go for Canderous first. That'll make Zalbar taunt, and I will just dispel that. So you have some translation, and you do. I actually got super lucky here because I stripped all the protection, but I didn't get the kill specifically. So now I can drop him so low that I should be able to pick him off really easily. So going to put the stealth on Rey Jedi Training here. I should have actually gone for Kylo Ren Unmasked. That's a mistake. Now I want to go for you. Still pretty much in full control so far. Juhani will stun me. I will go, if I go for her, she just drops and stealth, so I will go straight for Zalbar using, I suppose I could give him some translation. Well, you have to get through her one way or another, I suppose. But now I should be good to take him out. Going to put this on you. Burn everyone. And then Finn should be able to recover protection on these two. Ah, she's still stealthed, right. I will already do that, I think, because I don't need to take a turn yet. I'd rather get those banners back now than later. And Zalbar is pretty useless here. So it's a pretty nice combination to add Kylo Ren Unmasked here. I can do it because I obviously don't have the full First Order team at usable levels. But for most people, I understand this wouldn't apply. But it just shows like there are options if you don't have BB-8 because you're using him in another team. There are ways to make this work where you can still perfectly get 60 banners. Of course, that depends on your GP and what kind of teams you end up fighting. But yeah, pretty good solution, I'd say. So what's in the back here? Geos and his First Order. Okay, so I expected both of these. I didn't actually remember seeing that his Geobird Alpha was gear 11. That makes it a pretty nice option for Nest, though I do have to be concerned about this spy. It's got pretty high crit chance. Yeah, I'll have to be mindful there. Now these I could Trooper, and you would think that Kylo Ren is the nicest target here, because he's gear 9. 45-ish K health and protection. But the thing with Kylo Ren is that I believe one of his uniques, yeah, here, he gains stacking defense every time he gets damaged. So if you have relatively weak troopers like I do, then going for Kylo Ren masked is actually not a great idea as your first target anyway. Okay. Always good to check if they didn't conveniently Zeta this other one and they actually have a pre-taunt. A lot of people see this number and they always assume the Zeta, but it's usually best to just check. So I think either officer or probably the pilot will make a nicer first target. Yeah, squishier as well. So if I trooper this, I'll probably go for him first. Just gotta make sure that they don't sneakily outspeed me. Let's check what he is modded like. Okay. 224. Alright, so I'm faster than all of them, so that's probably what I'll do. Over here, I can take a look. I can use my Treya, I can use Nest, potentially. I'll see what exactly I do. I should first clean up General Skywalker here at the top. For that, I will probably use... I should check how much health does he have. 72,000, okay. So IPD is generally not an option against General Skywalker, because in order to beat him, you would need, or to explode with IPD rather, you would need to be able to drop below max health, and unless you have a stupidly tanky IPD, it's quite risky and unlikely that you're going to make it. And since General Skywalker also has AoEs that could hit you around your taunt that you might have in there, it's too risky of an option. So in this case, I'm going to be using Thrawn probably. I can bring Newt because he's nice for the cooldown reduction. Generally, I'll probably do Newt lead. Basically just throwing in characters that I sort of plug and play in other teams sometimes. Droideka can be pretty nice because he has damage immunity, so General Skywalker can hit him a bunch of times, take a lot of turns, and then ultimately Droideka unloads a lot of damage. But really the nicest is just to fracture and have a couple high damage dealers that can quickly deal with him. So Race Scavenger is okay. Wampa takes too long to build up, so not really a good option. It's a pity I didn't make the Padme fight, but yeah, it's just a risk of how exactly you end up. Does GK have foresight just when General Skywalker comes out of cover or not? And if he doesn't, then usually he gets killed. And if you're then not lucky with how your specials and everything lined up before General Skywalker starts decreasing your cooldowns, then yeah, it's just trouble. It's trouble. It's not waterproof. R2 helps tremendously, but I obviously don't have him here. So that is what it is. Now I just need to have enough damage output basically to do 70k after he is fractured. I do need to fracture him first, of course, before people start dropping. Dooku doesn't hit too hard. And Droideka takes a bit long to build up, so not a huge fan of putting him in. But it might end up being my best option because my roster is fairly limited. Could do something with Biggs, but if Biggs calls, I don't know, like Dooku to assist, it's just not going to do any damage. Resistance Trooper also isn't terrible. Yeah, I don't really need to use Newt lead here. I might just go with Dooku lead. Because there is nobody to spread Extortion to. At least Dooku lead provides counter chance, gives me tenacity if I'm stunned or dazed, and when they drop below 100% health, they get tenacity down, and healing immunity can be evaded or resisted, and I get the stacking offense, so that's not terrible. So I'll just go with that. Even if Newt immediately gets wrecked, I should be able to make it. And if not, then I'll have to go in with yet another cleanup team, which would be unfortunate, but it is what it is. So let's give it a shot with these 5. Okay, so I start with Thrawn, that's perfect. Get the fracture in there. Extortion. I'll just do the stun straight up. First special. Might as well just shoot here, I think. Or I could play it safe, but I think I'll just shoot. That was pretty close. And now call in the Separatists. And done. So still a 40 banner cleanup, that's quite alright. And no Grievous on defense. Ah, I see what he did. Okay, so he used Newt with the Separatists. And then he kept a nuke team on offense to be able to take out my Darth Revan. So not only did he use Darth Revan with Han and Chewie here, but he also used the nuke squad, and it didn't quite work out for him, so he had to clean up afterwards. So incredibly focused on these two teams that he just forgot about the two of those. Well, he gets style points, I guess. So from this point, anything I take out is a bonus. I've already won the match, but let's try to get as many banners as possible and get a full clear. So Traya against these would make sense. Troopers here. I can probably Wampa this one. That should be fine. Just have to see about the new team. Because I don't think I have very many options left. If I just nest the Geos and succeed, then I could use Traya here. That would be nice. And otherwise it's EP, and EP is really not so amazing against this. Although there is no B1 actually. Now that's very odd. What did he do with his B1? Does he use B1 in a nuke squad? I mean, I suppose he could for the extra offense, but that's a strange setup. So I think the best course of action is for me to take on the Geos first and see whether I succeed against those. Because if Nest fails, then I will want to use someone else. Well, I would be using Traya. I suppose the tricky question is, can my Nest outsmart the Spy? Because I can never target Spy when Spy gets out of stealth, which is a really annoying bug. Collective health and protection is pretty low, fortunately. Speed is pretty low. So I think I'm just going to risk Nest. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Yeah, we'll just give it a shot. Another option is to use Traya lead together with Nest, but then I lose my... Although, I'm thinking here, if I use EP together with Scion and Nihilus up against Newt, I could do some damage. It's not perfect, but it's still a very strong team. I might give that a shot actually, just because I haven't done it before. Could be fun. I don't have Thrawn unfortunately, so I would need some kind of way to control Droideka. Droideka is really tricky here. I've got to see actually, do I have any tanks left? I also still have what? Mr. Tambor. Yeah, I have a tank. He's called Scion. Genius, man. Yeah, I could do something with what there. Make Scion taunt all the time. Even though his pain kind of should take care of that. Okay, I'll do that. Just something different. Why not? So, Geos, I'll use Traya Nest. And you'll see why I choose to use these. I just realized I still have JKR. Right. So I could just totally JKR the new team. You know, that's probably smarter. That's probably smarter. Yeah. Well, for now, since I don't trust my Scion to survive Spy, because Scion is gear 12, even though he's well modded, I'll just be going in with this. I could do the 3 of them, but what you risk is that if you bring Scion, and this Geos focus on Scion a lot, but then suddenly Spy decides to one-shot Nest, and they still take out Scion, then I'm in trouble. So I'll just be going in with this. In the event that it fails, I also have a backup plan. I can use my Jedi Knight Revan against the Geos. I can still use EP on that new team, and then I'm fine. So Traya's leadership, even if she dies, is still going to allow me to drop their health and protection every time they attack out of turn, which they will do a lot. But Traya herself is also fairly tanky. You can already see them pretty much just killing themselves on Traya before they have moved a whole lot. Now I get dazed, obviously. So that's going to make it take a while before I take any turns, but you can see they continue to drop their health and protection here, which is very nice for me. Spy should do a special here any second, but I'm super stacked. Strangely enough, didn't dispel the daze. I'm not sure what happened there. Now you can see all it takes is Nest to take one turn, and I can start dropping Geos. Poggle will obviously keep reducing the turn meter, though the counters also work the moment I get to them, as there is no longer any daze. So this is an even stronger variant of just using Plow Nest. The downside is, of course, that you also spend your Treya team. Today we can target Spy, but I don't think I will, just because I don't think I would one-shot Spy in that case. And now I'll do it. Or not. Alright. 59 banners, pretty much the same as you would get with Treya and Scion in many cases, so that's just fine. So let's do Troopers here. I'm not going to check any speeds because I already did. So first target was the pilot. There he is. So if you look at the health and protection, this one actually looks slightly squishier, but just stick with the plan. I don't want to do the AoE here because it will make him counter and taunt. Same thing here, just a basic. Alright, so now let's go for this. It could actually end up messing me up. No, okay, great. So that's him dead. I don't want him to take any turns, and I will start doing my AoEs. So he's going to stack a lot of defense, but it should be alright here. Just an extra precaution. Put a death mark on you. That was enough. Alright. So around this GP you can still get away with having weak troopers occasionally, though people generally do set defense that you can't just trooper. But if they go heavy on offense, then sometimes you'll find a team like this. If you're someone in Division 1 watching this, you're probably wishing you had an opponent like that, but yeah, it is what it is. So Wampa over here, and then JKR over here is probably nicest. Although I'm thinking I could also, isn't there a feat? There's so definitely still a feat. I could go for a feat. Someone gave me the feedback that my carelessness about feats is not cool. But I mean, like, you do a feat and you get 85 tokens. That doesn't even buy me anything. Or you do the double-bladed lightsaber stuff, you get 75 tokens. It's just, it's not nice. They should up this a lot. 25 tokens for this one as well. I mean, for the score, you're pretty much forced to do it if you go for top ranks, but for these tokens, I mean, if it was 10 times this, I would consider doing it. But at the current value that you get, it's a bit disappointing. I don't know why they need to be so stingy about it. Because they're literally not even giving you one Kyber tech here for going out of your way to put a team together with Dooku, Palpatine, and Sith Assassin. But I suppose I can try that team against the... I mean, you get 90 points, might as well. I can try that team against the Phoenix team. Though I already used my Dooku, yeah, so that's not happening. You see, it's whatever. So I'll just Wampa this. I enjoy that more anyway. Let's do that one first. Am I going to solo? There's no Sabine, which means no armor shreds. Ezra does have a Zeta. And a lot of offense modding. So, I mean, these guys are gear 8. That's not the issue. It's more that... Wait, I should just check the speed. I didn't actually look for the speed. Because as long as Wampa goes first, I'm fine. 217. 199. Chopper is actually usually the fastest, I believe. Yeah. Well, my Wampa should be faster. If I recall correctly, 219. Pretty close. but he's got good tenacity, so I'll just send him in. Maybe I could send along Hermit Yoda. Nah, we'll be fine. Said every person ever before failing with Wampa against Phoenix. I mean, if I don't crit, then sure, I may not end up making it. Take him out. Do a little roar. You pissed off the wrong guy, Ezra. I mean, no need to switch targets here. Don't know why it automatically did that. Yeah, so pretty much no reason for concern. It's usually Sabine, who has multiple hits, can hit pretty hard, can stack up a lot of damage, and then combined with the armor shreds, that can give you some trouble. But okay, we'll go for the new team in the end here, so no feats to be done. I mean, the double-bladed lightsaber one, if I can get 3 kills with Bastilla here, that would be a miracle. I guess I can try to do my best to make it. I could go with Bastilla lead, but no reason really. So let's see, can we make her get 3 kills? I guess Grandmaster Yoda here is my biggest enemy and not actually the other team, because he could very easily just wipe them out. I will just dispel Droidica. I should take out B2 first. It's very strange to not have B1 in here. I'm really not used to it. Could also go for Dooku, because he will stealth everyone and counter a lot. I think I'll actually do that. I don't mind B2 very much. So let's just take Dooku out. Okay, I could absolutely not tell who ended up being the killer there. Yeah, let's just forget about Grandmaster Yoda here for a bit. Let's see, can Bastilla... She definitely cannot. Okay, I'm gonna ability block him. Just basic you. So she has to get the buff somehow. This should be interesting. Ugh, okay, that's close enough. Now I can get my first kill. Bam. Look at that. I just need to somehow stop Grandmaster Yoda from killing, though. I have no idea how I'm going to pull that off. This won't kill B2. Maybe I can do this. Although, when you call this assist, it's always the character itself that goes last, so I don't actually want to get a kill here. I'll just do this. I will stun Magna, hopefully. No. Disappointing. I mean, he's probably modded for tenacity, but with no B1 there, his tenacity should be pretty low. Again, don't want to get any kills. So I could also try to get a double kill on Newt. I mean, the thing is, I'm sacrificing protection banners here to try to get these feet. That's the part I don't really enjoy. So Jedi Knight Reveneer probably won't kill Magna Guard. Yoda would, but this should allow Bastilla to get the kill. I just don't know if it counts as a kill. Yeah, it does, okay. Because Normalcini still takes a turn afterwards. Which is a bit odd. So let's just do an AoE here. Spread no buffs. Yeah, now I'm forced to kill with Yoda, and the issue is that if I go for Newt, he's going to stealth and extort. And this is just a wild card, this AoE here. But I'll just try to do this without killing. Yeah, fortunately it's a pretty tanky B2 here. I should be mindful of the clock here a bit. I'm trying so hard to get these freaking kills. Okay, come on, Bastilla. This is not gonna kill. It's just not. Let's try. Nope. But this will. I don't actually... Is this the third kill? I'm trying to think here. Yeah, that definitely won't get it done. If Yoda takes a turn, it's over, so I might as well do this. Get everyone to full protection. 60. Like the stuff we try to do to get these feats, it's just silly. 1900, that's a pretty score. Well, I got it done. So there's a challenge. You see, I can be nice with feats. I can do my best. Got my 250 points, which makes up for some zone that I previously didn't clear. Still have to do this soonish. This one I've just occasionally done when I think about it. And this one should be fine. Didn't get this feat, but yeah, it's okay. So there we go. It was, for me, not a particularly challenging round, mostly because the previous opponents in the group were quite a lot stronger. Even this opponent, which was the one I might have otherwise faced, seemed really strong. I think he was just caught off guard by the other guy beating his General Skywalker team. Maybe he set a really weak defense for the rest. So that's always something to be careful with. If you're not 100% sure that your opponent can't one-shot your teams, then or even multi-shot, then you should be wary of setting only one strong defensive team and going very heavy on offense for the rest. Good job on my opponent for at least taking out this zone and the one behind. I thought he might go for the top one, which is why I said these teams over there. Did a bit of a Karth variant here. But he did end up wanting to take them down because he was really focused on it. But this is just a showstopper for a lot of people. So yeah, see you next week. Take care, everyone, and good luck on your grand arenas.